This is my cup collection. This is the one I made. This is my record collection. This is the one I made. And this is my photobook collection. But for some reason, I haven't made one of my own. Until now.
Okay, stay there. Smile. 3, 2, 1.
I've owned many cameras throughout my life. Each represents its own era. But if I had to choose the ones that truly defined me, the turning points, the chronology would go as follows. This was the first one I ever used. I don't have many memories of it, but it's probably the reason I'm into photo and video today. It eventually got stolen by my brother. And I did the same thing with my mother's camera. But I grew up and things were changing fast. So when I turned 14, I replaced it with and started Gawx with it. Filming, editing, it was my full production house. 2 years passed, enough to save up and buy my first camera. I made hundreds of videos with it. My style started taking shape. Then I turned 18 and that's when I finally outgrew it. I went for the big one. When it arrived, I had no idea how to use it. But that was its biggest strength. It pushed me to learn. My style matured with it. But this camera isn't made for photography, and I wanted to explore the medium. I pulled the trigger on, and oh boy, I fell in love with it. In 2023, I took it to Tokyo. It was a surreal experience. I promised myself to go back and make a photobook in Japan one day. And 2 years later, the time has finally come. My flight is departing in 2 weeks. I got a new camera for this project. It's time to build its legacy. But how do you even make a photobook? Well, first, you need to understand them. I noticed that every photobook has a theme, and even if they're not narrative, they still tell some sort of story. What varies between them, though, is the way these stories are told. And there are 4 main aspects that determine that. 1. The images. The substance of the book. Think of it as the script of a movie. They need to feel cohesive with each other, no matter the subject, the light, or the composition of the shot. 2. The sequence. This is like your editing timeline, a way to create meaning. The order in which you place the images and how that affects feeling and interpretation. 3. The layout. How do you position your photos? What does it say when you enlarge, blur, or leave them alone? This is the way the story is told, the pace at which the creator wants the reader to experience it. 4. The object. This is the direction in which the book presents itself, and what sets the tone of the story and the intention of the author. The materials, the size, the design of the cover, and the way the pages are stitched together. But all these aspects cannot be deciphered at the same time, because without the images, there is no book. So before I capture Japan, let's do some rehearsals in my city. Mexico City. Now, the goal of this session is not to take book-worthy photos, but to loosen up, prepare for my trip, and try to capture the true texture and rawness of a place. After a couple of shots I was happy with, largely thanks to the morning light and the unmistakable character of Mexico's streets, I entered a state of flow. But I cannot spend the whole day taking photos, because the time has finally come and there's a flight I need to catch. And since I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to capture, I will only bring the strictly necessary with me.
Wait, Gawx, where did you get that? Your case, where did you get it?
I made it. This is the TORRAS Q3 Air phone case, Gawx limited edition. TORRAS' third generation of phone cases, designed to protect and engineered to elevate phone photography. Thanks to the lateral anti-slip stripes, your phone remains gripped to your hand at all times, and if any accidents happen, the airbags are there to absorb the impact. The 360 O-stand ring allows you to place your phone at any angle you want, so you can watch, read, or create hands-free. Every aspect of this case is engineered to the millimeter, and I wanted to do that justice with my design, from the airbags to the panel, and even a surprise on the stand. On top of that, I created two main characters, each in its own colorway, each with its own guardian, two sticker packs, and custom packaging, inspired by my dogs. So what are you waiting for? Check out the link in the description and get yours before they are gone. In the meantime, I'll bring mine to Japan to capture its first memories. Thank you TORRAS for sponsoring this video and for believing in my vision. "17 hours later, I found myself in Hiroshima, a city 800 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, our final destination. And what began as a plan to take some photos eventually transformed into terabytes of pictures. Only 2 days were spent here, and before we were able to take it in, we were already on a train heading to Kanazawa, a small city in the west coast of Japan. Our last stop before going to Tokyo. We reached our final destination, a city I had for a while dreamt of returning to. The only step left to do was to transform these images into a book. And I would do that myself. The first step was to make a selection of my images and somehow sequence them to give them meaning. I ended up with 6 different chapters and a complete mock-up, which I then translated into a design. I started by laying them out uniformly, but I realized that instead of a book, it felt like a portfolio, that in order to get depth, you need to play with layout. And that's how I got pages with strength, pages with story, pages I loved and printed immediately. Now it was only a matter of building the book. I started by folding my sheets and cutting the excess, transforming them into folios, which, when united in force, become signatures. Once you have them ready, you need to put them together. There are many different ways of doing this, but I wanted mine to feel gritty, so I grabbed red thread, made holes, and stitched them together. The exposed spine was ready. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but how can you do that when that's what represents the content, the first impression, the way the book makes you feel just by looking at it? For mine, I went for a hardcover, upholstered in fabric, tactile and textured. Before gluing it together, I embroidered my design. I had never done that before, and it shows, but that's particularly what I like. There's a strange beauty in imperfection. It makes things unique, vulnerable, personal, and I embrace that with this project, because in the era that we live in, the most human thing is to make something imperfect. This is my photobook collection. And this is the one I made.